wálé.
ìwòyí àná
lásán mama wálé.
olórí rẹ̀ màmá ṣọlá.
mama wálé.
màmá ṣọlá màmá oníyàwó dé.
mama wálé.
màmá oníyàwó dé. màmá kúnlé.
mama wálé.
màmá kúnlé màmá jíde.
mama wálé.
olórí rẹ̀ màmá dèjì.
mama wálé.
màmá dèjì màmá olú.
mama wálé.
ara ń bẹ
ihò fẹ́ dá.
ajírò máa rí bá.
kádàrá ẹ̀dá. ara ń bẹ tí ihò fẹ́ dá.
ìwọ́n ti gbọ́ olùwà tó wí pé
pápá
ọmọ mi ní ìlú.
ìdè nínú ọgbà àjọra olúwa kò sí bàbá mi lọ. pápá
ìyá ló ní gbogbo òkú.
ilẹ̀ dẹ́tọ̀.
wọ́n lè máa bẹ̀ mọ́.
fi wọ́n sílẹ̀ lẹ́ẹ̀dẹ̀ ń ṣe.
wọ́n lè máa sọ sọ́kùsọ.
masọ̀kọ̀ bọ́ lẹ́ẹ̀dẹ̀ ń ṣe. gbogbo igi níbẹ̀ nígbò. bàtò fi rọ́pò jọba. ìrọ́pò ní bàbá igi. ìjímèrè ní bàbá ọ̀bọ. ọlọ́mọ sí kàtà bàbá àgbàdo. ìyẹn ló fọ́ wọn lórí. tí wọ́n fi ń sáré kiri tọ̀. wọ́n kò jílé wọn gbọ́dọ̀ kúrú. nítorí wọ́n nìkan
bíntù
ọmọ tó bá fẹ́.
báwọn lọ́tẹ́ bá ti dákúdákú.
ẹ ṣàbálẹ̀ ẹ ṣàbálẹ̀ ẹ ṣàbálẹ̀
bẹ́ẹ̀ kiri
ẹ ṣàbálẹ̀ ẹ ṣàbálẹ̀
lẹ́ẹ̀kejì
ẹ ṣàbálẹ̀
ó ní mẹ́ta
ẹ ṣàbálẹ̀
ó ní mẹ́rin
ẹ ṣàbálẹ̀ ẹ ṣàbálẹ̀
láwọn
ẹ̀wọ̀ sọnù sígbó.
eléré dùn.
bí kámọ̀ ọ̀wé kò dàbí kò yẹ ni. ẹ̀wẹ̀ nulẹ̀ ẹ̀wẹ̀ nọkọ ẹ̀wọ̀
tí bíntù wọ́n ti mọ̀ bí látàtà lọ́jà yẹ.
ẹ̀yẹ
kẹ́ni bá ní ṣe bò
gbòǹgbò
láti mọ̀
ó ti dé. ìrẹ̀ tó kó lọ́nà ló jẹ́ òpẹ́.
ọ̀rọ̀ ẹ̀dẹ̀ lẹ́jọ́ lè yọ.
ẹ̀yọ ẹ̀yọ
ó lẹ́jọ́ lè yọ.
ẹ̀yọ
Fatima
ẹ̀yọ
pápá lè ti yẹ.
ẹ̀yọ
ìyá ló lè gbogbo gbogbo ìkó tilẹ̀ tó. ó lè lẹ́jọ́ lọ yọ.
ẹ̀yọ
kẹ́ni bá ní ṣe bò ìdìbì
gbòǹgbò
wà.
ó ti dé. ìrẹ̀ tó kó lọ́nà ló jẹ́ òpẹ́.
ó máa lè ṣe báyìí tán látọrí Fatima bí o.
mo máa lè ṣe mo kúkú lè ṣe wáyé dọ́là o.
ó máa lè ṣe báyìí dọ́là o. gbogbo ojú kò wájú.
ó ti rẹ́ níbí.
gbogbo ojú wẹ̀.
mo tún rẹ́ níbí.
gbogbo ojú wẹ̀.
mo máa ń bá inú. mo máa ń bá inú. mo máa ń bá inú. ààrẹ bọ́ bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ́dún lọ́dún. Wọ́n fẹ́ dáná yìí. Congratulations.
4th Annual Choir Festival of Ashiwaju of Remo Christians is here, and you are cordially invited. The theme for the 2025 edition is With the Voice of Singing. The Choir Festival will feature the winner of the 2024 edition, Emerald Choir, the host choir, Tabernacle Choir, 8 other competing choirs, and 20 observing choirs. Special appearance by King Sunny and second prize 3 million naira, third prize 2 million naira. The total winning prize for this year's edition is 25 million naira and other consolation prizes for winners in other categories. Date Sunday 6th July 2025. Time 11 a.m. prompt. Venue Abraham Tabernacle, Oba Henry Wale Road, GRA, Shagam, Ogun State. Chief host is Excellency the Senator Otumba Binga Daniel, CON, the Ashiwaju of Remo Christians. The Choir Festival, improving the art of singing in our churches. Media partners TBC News, Channels TV, Arise TV, BOS Communications, and others.
Are you ready? We are not joking when we say Custom Week 2025 will be stupendous. Yes, Nigeria will rise again. Fasten your seatbelts. Custom Week 2025, May 25 to May 31.
Taravest 2025 is here. On behalf of His Excellency Dr. Agbu Kefas, the Executive Governor of Taraba State, you're warmly invited to the Taraba State International Investment Summit Taravest 2025, holding May 21st, 2025 in Jalingo, the beautiful capital of culture, energy, mining and industrialization AEMI for sustainable growth and development. This landmark summit will spotlight Taraba's vast potential and chart a clear path to economic transformation. Taravest 2025 will bring together high-level national and international stakeholders from across the productive and service sectors, showcasing Taraba as Nigeria's new frontier for investment and innovation. From agriculture to power and renewable energy, from ICT and tourism to infrastructure, leather and tannery, solid minerals, banking, construction, communication, and the digital economy. This summit is a platform for real opportunities, lasting partnerships, and actionable results. Expect engaging discussions, insightful panels, and bold investment commitments that will shape the future of Taraba State. Join us at the Taraba State Banquet Hall, T.Y. Danjuma House, Jalingo, as we open the doors to sustain or inquiries. Please contact Ambassador Mfawa Abam on 0815-151-5888 or email mfawaabam@gmail.com or Barrister Nerus Johnson on +234 803 924 1624 or email talk2ulem@gmail.com. Taravest 2025, where vision meets action and opportunity meets investment. Don't miss it. On behalf of Prince Bisi, the esteemed Olatilo family, and the entire Biscon Communications team, we extend our deepest and most profound gratitude to everyone who made the celebration of 50 years of broadcasting excellence and 25 years of the Bisi show an unforgettable success. Tuesday, May 13th, 2025 will forever be etched in our collective memory. The historic Shell Hall of the Muson Center, Lagos, came alive as royalty, statesmen, captains of industry, media legends, and cherished friends gathered in honor of a man whose voice, vision, and values have helped shape the Nigerian narrative for 5 remarkable decades. We are especially honored to acknowledge the warm congratulations and recognition from His Excellency, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, who in a heartfelt message rejoiced with Prince Bisi on his 50th anniversary in broadcasting. The 25th anniversary, the President lauded Prince Olatilo's trailblazing influence across broadcasting, print, advertising, public relations, and strategic communications, describing him as a man who has always placed the unity and progress of the nation first. President Tinubu further commended Prince Olatilo's fluency that the awards and recognitions, including the Nigerian Media Merit Award, are a testament to a life of hard work, national service, and purpose-driven storytelling. He concluded with prayers for long life, good health, and greater wisdom for honor. To every royal father, distinguished guest, public servant, media veteran, industry leader, and dear well-wisher who joined us to mark this golden milestone, thank you. Your presence brought elegance, depth, and dignity to the occasion. To those who journeyed from far and near, who sent goodwill messages, offered prayers, supported in countless ways, and stood by us in spirit, your love and kindness made the celebration truly complete. To our steadfast supporters and the ever-loyal BOS audience who have stood by us over the years, this moment belongs to you as well. And to our team, you are the silent pillars of this great achievement. Thank you for being part of a celebration that honored not just a man, but a mission. One grounded in integrity, driven by purpose, and defined by impact. A movement that continues to uplift, inform, and say thank you. May God bless you richly. The journey continues, and the story of excellence lives on.
Adverse effects and government's approach to curb illegal mining in Nigeria. From the word, illegal mining is an activity that is undertaken without state permission, in particular in absence of land rights, mining licenses, and exploration or mineral transportation permits. Illegal mining and trafficking in precious metals negatively impacts peace, stability, security, development, governance, rule of law, environment, and the economy at large. It is often accompanied by serious human rights abuses, and it can have the illegal activities are often linked to economic crimes such as tax evasion, fraud, and corruption by exploiting loopholes in regulatory frameworks. Nigeria's mining sector is diverse in mineral resources that makes a significant contribution to the nation's gross domestic product. Its minerals include barite, bitumen, iron ore, lead, zinc, coal, limestone, and gold. According to the Minister of Solid Minerals, Dele Alake, the conservative amount of minerals deposited in the country is worth more than $700 billion.
But the country had yet to access a quarter of the deposit.
In the 2024 budget of Renewed Hope, as proposed by President Bola Tinubu, outlines a total expenditure of 27.5 trillion naira with a projected revenue of 18.32 trillion naira and a deficit of 9.18 trillion naira. To achieve the projected revenue, the federal government estimated that minerals and mining alone will account for 4.55 billion naira. However, the mining sector is faced with multiple challenges and its current poor performance and organized crime. Nigeria's national resources have been exploited by both local and foreign criminals for decades, and the extractive sector is the most recent target. In April 2020, the Nigerian police force in Zamfara state arrested 2 Chinese nationals for allegedly engaging in illegal mining in Bukuyum local government area of the state, where the federal government had banned all mining activities to curb killings by armed bandits in July 2023. The EFCC arrested 13 more Chinese nationals for allegedly engaging in illegal mining activities. Also, in August 2023, the Akwa Ibom state government closed down an illegal mining company operated by Chinese nationals for the firm's inability to provide authorization documents for titanium ore mining in Ibeno community. In addition, the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps, NSCDC, Federal Capital Territory FCT Command, in December 2023, disclosed that it arrested no fewer than 82 suspected vandals and 22 illegal miners in the last 4 months, among other cases. However, on December 12, involved in illegal mining are sponsoring banditry and terrorism in the country. He stated this when he appeared before the House of Representatives Committee on Solid Minerals for the ministry's 2024 budget defense in Abuja. The Bodija Ibadan has blamed the Malian illegal miners for the explosion that rocked the Asian city. The blast, which killed 5 people with over 77 injured, is the latest recorded in the country so far. Illegal mining can have several negative effects on the environment, economy, and society, amongst some of which include: first, environmental degradation. Illegal mining often involves the use of destructive methods such as clear-cutting forest, using toxic chemicals, and causing soil erosion, which can lead to the destruction of habitats, deforestation, and the contamination of water sources. Second, illegal mining activities often involves the use of hazardous chemicals, such as mercury and cyanide, in activities in the state. The federal government, through the Ministry of Solid Minerals Development, has also issued a warning to foreign operators who sponsor banditry in order to the warning when a delegation of the Nigeria-China Chamber of Mines, led by its national president, Dr. Olugbenga Ajala, paid him a courtesy visit in his office at the ministry's headquarters in Abuja. To curb illegal mining in the country, the government needs to review and strengthen existing mining laws and regulations to make them more stringent and effective in deterring illegal mining activities. Implement monitoring and surveillance systems such as satellite imagery or aerial reconnaissance, which help detect and track illegal mining activities. Government should collaborate with local communities by involving them in decision-making processes, provide education and alternative livelihood opportunities, and support community-led initiatives to combat illegal mining in their area. Technical assistance and financial support to legitimate mining operations. This can help promote sustainable and environmentally friendly mining practices.
Where you debar the people from taking their own resources, there will be problems, and that is why we have illegal mining. And that the French, the Chinese, they will keep sending and keep using our people to do illegal mining, and the government can't really stop it because it's beyond what they can control, except to give them the resource control and then allow them to pay tax to the center. Sure, there was doing street trading, and then he said even in America street trading is allowed. It's only that you have to be registered. So the regulation will take care of this problem rather than just trying to punish them.
What I feel is that they should legalize them, identify them, and then legalize it. Just like part of mining has to do with this oil. It saves us from all these deportations, as far as my understanding.
And they should ensure that there is a tax force that, because you cannot stop people from mining, those that have paid. So the tax force should do their job. Those companies that are not licensed, they should...
Police force to patrol and secure such a country is impracticable. The reliance on a single federal police force has strained resources and limited the capacity to address security concerns adequately across the country. The evidence of this has been written in innocent blood being spilt daily. Armed robbery, organized crime, drug and human trafficking, and cultism across the country. About 63,111 were killed across the country from June 2015 to May 2023 by terrorists, bandits, Fulani herdsmen, communal combatants, cult gangs, and in extrajudicial killings by security agents. According to the Council, has failed woefully to protect citizens, of whom 5,135 have died in violence in President Bola Tinubu's first 7 months in office, according to the International Center for Investigative Journalism. With 371,000 officers, the Nigerian police force is overwhelmed and many parts of the country seized control of some hinterland territories, imposing brutal, bloody rule over the locals. The United States provides an example of highly devolved policing, with almost 18,000 federal, state, city, county, and campus agencies. 7 of Canada's 10 provinces contracted their police. Land and Labrador have their own police forces, while many municipalities also have their own police agencies. Nigeria should also follow suit. All that matters is that policing must primarily be local, with responsibilities assigned by law to each level of policing. The oldest and fundamental justification for government forces could be susceptible to political influence and abuse by local authorities, leading to human rights violations and biased enforcement of laws can easily be dealt with by the State Police Board, oversighting the operations of the command under it. To address this, the federal government should grant the state center a role in the appointment of regional police heads.
Some strategies can be employed. They think state policing is best and it can be recommended to the government, it can be approved, then fine, because of course I would not want a situation where I fall into the hands of kidnappers or a loved one. So if I don't wish that for myself, I don't wish that for anyone at this point. So if state policing is the solution, if there is some other way that we can use to just, drive this safe, then I can't do business, then I can't go to work and feel comfortable. I can't hang out with my friends, I can't travel to, if I have a trailer or a truckload of goods. I said initially I may not be the best person to recommend for the security personnel, but if they know some way that the government can approve for them to go ahead to curb the insecurity, then they should go ahead.
Even our normal policing have issues already. I mean, we have been fight already. When we say police is our friend, it is on our side. Now state policing and other policing, I mean, to me, all the ideas about policing need to be, it needs to be checked. We need to check it properly. We need to put factors in place to check all these departments, all these armed forces. That's what I think too, though.
In conclusion, among other benefits, allowing times to emergencies and incidents leading to a better protection of the life of its citizens. It will enable them to understand and address the specific security challenges faced by different regions within the country, allowing for tailored solutions to local issues. It can also lead to closer relationships between law enforcement and the communities they serve, thereby enhancing public trust and accountability. State police can also focus on preventing and detecting crimes at a local level, leading to better overall security and safety for citizens. Furthermore, they can adapt their strategies and resources to the specific needs of their respective states, allowing for greater flexibility and local control over law enforcement efforts.
As Prince BOS clocks 25, the moment provides an opportune time to reflect on a legacy built on excellence, consistency, cultural pride, and patriotic storytelling. BOS has, over the past quarter of a century, evolved beyond a television program into a national archive of Nigeria's most significant moments events that shapes the country's socio-political and cultural fabric. From solemn state funerals to joyous weddings, from high-profile coronations to elite social gatherings, BOS has remained the go-to platform for authentic, dignified, and all-encompassing coverage. Its lens has never been passive. It has active transformation. One of the distinctive hallmarks of BOS has been its sensitive and comprehensive coverage of the passing of national icons. The burial of the late Chief Chukwuemeka Odumegwu Ojukwu, one of Nigeria's most controversial and revered political figures, was a significant national moment. BOS captured not just the elaborate ceremonies across the multiple states, but also the emotions, tributes, and political undertones that defined that period. Equally touching was the dignified coverage of the burial of Nigeria's former First Lady, Chief Mrs. Stella Obasanjo, whose untimely passing shocked the nation. BOS delivered a respectful interment, encapsulating the emotional pulse of the country. When Nigeria bade farewell to Dr. Alex Ekweme, the country's former vice president and elder statesman, BOS once again stood tall. From his hometown in Oko, Anambra State, BOS documented every moment of the funeral rites with its trademark touch of class, balance, and cultural sensitivity. The burial of other eminent Nigerians, such as Alabo Tonye Graham Douglas, a respected elder statesman and former minister, and the legendary banker and philanthropist Otumba Shubomi Balogun, were also captured with depth and cultural appreciation. These weren't just media coverages. They were historical recordings that now serve as a reference point in the nation's memory bank. BOS has remained deeply committed to the promotion and preservation of Nigeria's diverse traditional institutions. A remarkable example was the enthronement of Oba Eware II as the Oba of Benin, a ceremony steeped in centuries of tradition and cultural symbolism. BOS brought this to national and global audiences with such authenticity that many viewers described it as being part of the moment without being present. Similarly, the coronation of the Olu of Warri, an event that united sons and daughters of the Shekiri Kingdom worldwide, was elegantly covered by BOS. From the rituals to the regalia, from the crown's jubilation to the monarch's historic ascension, BOS captured it all, adding yet another priceless gem to its archive. The coronation of Sir Kensington Adebutu as the Odole Odua of Yoruba land, held by BOS. This rare chieftaincy title, which bridges generations of Yoruba history, was interpreted and presented by BOS with clarity, reverence, and storytelling finesse. Over the years, BOS has also made its social trends. One of the most captivating was the wedding of Kanu Nwankwo, Nigeria football legend and one of Africa's most recognizable sports personalities. BOS showcased the romance, the glamour, and the unity that came with that celebration, solidifying its reputation another graceful cultural icon whose passing marked the end of an era in Nigerian music history. BOS was on ground to reflect her life and legacy with utmost sensitivity and detail. The Bisiolatilo show has moved from being just a media outfit to becoming a movement of cultural awareness, elegance, and intellectual depth. Prince Bisiolatilo's personal touch, multilingual prowess, and journalistic flair have made BOS the gold standard in social and cultural reportage. For 25 years, the show has remained timeless, surviving trends, technological shifts, and generational changes, all while retaining Jubilee in broadcasting and BOS's Silver Jubilee. We are reminded that great storytelling never gets out of style. The BOS brand continues to redefine what it means to document people, power, and prestige with poise and professionalism. With every edition, BOS preserves our culture, promotes our values, and places Nigerian stories on the pedestal they truly deserve. The next chapter holds even more promise as the BOS vision expands not just as a show, but as an institution of memory, pride, and national identity. Taraverse, the Executive Governor of Taraba State, you're warmly invited to the Taraba State International Investment Summit, Taraverse 2025, holding May 21st, 2025 in Jalingo, the beautiful capital of Taraba State. With the theme, Unlocking Taraba's Investment Potentials, Advancing Agriculture, Energy, Mining and Industrialization AEMI for Sustainable Growth and Development. This landmark summit will spotlight Taraba's vast potential and chart a clear path to economic transformation. Taraverse 2025 will bring together high-level national and international stakeholders from across the productive and service sectors, showcasing Taraba as Nigeria's new frontier for investment and innovation. From agriculture to power and renewable energy, from ICT and tourism to infrastructure, leather and tannery, solid minerals, banking, construction, communication, and the digital economy. This summit is a platform for real opportunities, lasting partners, insightful panels, and bold investment commitments that will shape the future of Taraba State. Join us at the Taraba State Banquet Hall, T.Y. Danjuma House, Jalingo, as we open the doors to sustainable growth, shared prosperity, and global collaboration. For more information, 151-5888 or email mfawaabam@gmail.com or Barrister Nerus Johnson on +234 803 924 1624 or email talk2ulem@gmail.com. Taraverse 2025. Don't miss it.
Thank you for joining us again. On the national scene is a Ezekwesili slams jam, an education ministry for incompetence. Ogun CJ releases 67 inmates to ease prison overcrowding. In business news, MBS launches initiative to reform Nigeria's data system. On the foreign scene, Trump says Ukraine talks will wait until he meets Putin. And in sports, Amorim urges United to focus on Chelsea, not just Europa final. Now the news in detail. Former Education Minister Obi Ezekwesili has criticized the Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board, JAMB, and the Ministry of Education over the handling of technical errors in the 2025 UTME. She faulted their slow response and accused them of being unprofessional and dismissive when students and citizens first raised concerns about unusually low scores, particularly in the southeast. Ezekwesili also called out what she described as a lack of integrity in the exam process, referencing past controversies like the Misoma Ejikeme case. She stressed the need for an independent forensic tech investigation to uncover the root of JAMB's repeated failures, saying such matters must be treated with professionalism rather than political defensiveness. Now, Stephen John, the House of Representatives is calling for the establishment of at least one computer-based test center in each of Nigeria's 774 local government areas. This comes after JAMB admitted to technical glitches affecting about 380,000 candidates in the 2025 UTME, leading to calls for retakes. Lawmakers say the lack of accessible CBT centers in rural and are pledged to include provisions in the 2026 budget to fund this expansion, aiming to make UTME access more equitable and prevent future disruptions in the examination process. Away from that, the Chief Judge of Ogun State, Justice Musomola Dikbeolu, Oba, and Ibara Obekuta, as part of efforts to reduce overcrowding. The inmates were freed on health and compassionate grounds, with some held in detention since 2017 without trial or case files. Justice Dikbeolu and warned against returning to crime. Correctional Service Controller Abioye Additional praised the initiative, noting that the released inmates had undergone vocational training, preparing them to contribute meaningfully to the economy. In another development, the Court of Appeal in the outcome of the September 21 Edo governorship election, in which INEC declared APC's Monday Okpebolo winner. The appeals include petitions by the PDP and its candidate, Asoe Ighodalo, who alleged electoral irregularities. Ighodalo's legal team said that their documents were wrongfully dismissed by the tribunal as don't. However, APC and INEC lawyers urged the court to dismiss the appeal, labeling it an academic exercise. The court will communicate its decision at a later date. We'll take a short break now. Welcome back now to business news. The National Bureau of Statistics has introduced the Integrated System of Administrative Statistics, ISAS, to modernize how data is. Statistician General Adeyemi Adeniro described ISAS as a major shift toward a unified, efficient data ecosystem. The ISAS initiative includes the distribution of modern equipment and software to MDAs to ensure 15 MDAs are being onboarded in the pilot phase. Officials say this reform will empower data-driven governance, policymaking, and national development planning. You're watching Biscon TV News. Foreign news comes up next. Welcome back now to foreign news. US President Donald Trump has stated that progress on ending the war in Ukraine won't happen until he meets Russian President Vladimir Putin. Speaking on Air Force One, Trump dismissed reports of meaningful negotiations in Turkey, where Russia sent a low-level delegation, despite earlier suggestions that Putin would attend. Trump emphasized that only direct talks between himself and Putin could produce a solution, saying support for Ukraine-led peace negotiations and could reshape diplomatic efforts. You're still watching Biscon TV News. Up next is sports news. Welcome back. Now to sports news. Manchester United's manager Ruben Amorim says his team must focus on Friday's Premier League match against Chelsea rather than looking ahead to the Europa League final. With United sitting 16th in the league, Amorim believes winning against Chelsea would boost morale and match readiness ahead of the European showdown. Despite mounting injuries and poor league form, Amorim insists that every game counts. He warned players that their selection for the final won't depend on whether they are rested or not, but on performance. Chelsea, meanwhile, must win to stay in the Champions League race, adding pressure to both sides. You're watching Biscon Television News. Entertainment news comes up shortly. Welcome back. Now to entertainment news. Legendary Nigerian singer Innocent Idibia, popularly known as Baba, has publicly showered praises on his wife, Honorable Natasha Osawaru, describing her as the most beautiful lawmaker. The African Queen hitmaker took to his Instant Story to celebrate the Edo State lawmaker, who recently clinched a prestigious Human Resources Award. In the heartfelt post, Baba shared a photo of Natasha expressing deep admiration and support for her achievements. Baba's post has since drawn mixed reactions from fans and followers who continue to criticize the couple's strong bond and mutual respect. You're watching Biscon Television News. The news continues shortly. It's now time for the major points of the news. On the national scene, Italy slams JAMB and Education Ministry for incompetence. Ogun CJ releases 67 inmates to ease prison overcrowding. In business news, MBS launches initiative to reform Nigeria's data system. On the foreign scene, Trump says Ukraine talks will wait until he meets Putin. And in sports, Amorim urges United to focus on Chelsea, not just Europa final. And that's the news on Biscon Television. Now the last line. Will Rogers said, "Don't let yesterday take up too much of today." I'm Stella Papara. Thank you for watching.
On behalf of Prince Bisi Olatilo, the esteemed Olatilo family, and who made the celebration of 50 years of broadcasting excellence and 25 years of the Bisi Olatilo show an unforgettable success. Tuesday, May 13th, 2025 will forever be etched in our collective memory. The historic Shell Hall of the Muson Center, Lagos, came alive as royalty, statesmen, captains of industry, media legends, and cherished friends gathered in honor of a man whose voice, vision, and values have helped shape the Nigerian narrative for 5 remarkable decades. We are especially honored to acknowledge the warm congratulations and recognition from His Excellency, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, who in broadcasting the 25th anniversary of the Bisi Olatilo show and his 71st birthday. The President lauded Prince Olatilo's trailblazing influence across broadcasting, print, advertising, public relations, and strategic communications, describing him as a man who has always placed the unity and Prince Olatilo's fluency in Hausa, Yoruba, and Igbo, an inspiration to aspiring polyglots, and affirmed that the awards and recognitions, including the Nigerian Media Merit Award, are a testament to a life of hard work, national service, and purpose-driven storytelling. He concluded with progeria and humanity. We are deeply humbled by his presidential honor. To every royal father, distinguished guest, public servant, media veteran, industry leader, and dear well-wisher who joined us to mark this golden milestone, thank you. Your presence to those who journeyed from far and near, who sent goodwill messages, offered prayers, supported in countless ways, and stood by us in spirit. Your love and kindness made the celebration truly complete. To our steadfast supporters and the ever-loyal BOS audience who have stood by us over the years, this moment belongs to you as well. And to our team and everyone who worked behind the scenes to make the event extraordinary, you are the silent pillars of this great achievement. Thank you for being part of a celebration that honored not just a man, but a mission. One grounded in integrity, driven by purpose, and defined by impact. A movement that continues to uplift, inform, and inspire across generations. From the depths of our hearts, we say thank you. May God bless you richly. The journey continues, and the story of excellence lives on. TaraVest 2025 is here. On behalf of His Excellency Dr. Agbukefas, the Executive Governor of Taraba State, you're warmly invited to the Taraba State International Investment Summit TaraVest 2025, holding May 21st, 2025 in Jalingo, the beautiful capital of Taraba State. Will spotlight Taraba's vast potential and chart a clear path to economic transformation. TaraVest 2025 will bring together high-level national and international stakeholders from across the productive and service sectors, showcasing Taraba as Nigeria's power and renewable energy, from ICT and tourism to infrastructure, leather and tannery, solid minerals, banking, construction, communication, and the digital economy. This summit is a platform for real opportunities, lasting partnerships, and actionable results. Expect engaging discussions, insightful panels, and bold investment commitments that will shape the future of Taraba State. Join us at the Taraba State Banquet Hall, T.Y. Danjuma House, Jalingo, as we open the doors to sustainable growth, shared prosperity, and global collaboration. For more information or inquiries, please contact Ambassador Mfawa Abam on 0815-151-5888 or email mfawaabam@gmail.com or Barrister Nerus Johnson on +234 803 924 1624 or email talk2ulem@gmail.com. TaraVest 2025, where vision meets action and opportunity meets investment. Don't miss it.
Are you ready? We are not joking when we game. Fasten your seatbelts. Koson Week 2025, May 25 to May 31.
The 4th Annual Choir Festival of Ashiwaju of Remo Christians is here, and you are cordially invited. The theme for the 2025 edition is With the Voice of Singing. The choir... The host choir, Tabernacle Choir. 8 other competing choirs and 20 observing choirs. Special appearance by King Sunny and prize, 5 million naira. Second prize, 3 million naira. Third prize, 2 million naira. The total winning prize for this year's edition is 25 million naira and other consolation prizes for winners in other categories. Date, Sunday 6th July 2025. Time, 11 a.m. prompt. Venue, Abraham Tabernacle, Oba Henry Wale Road, GRA, Shagam, Ogun State. Chief host is Excellency, the Senator, Otumba Binga Daniel, CON, the Ashiwaju of Remo Christians. The Choir Festival, improving the art of singing in our churches. Media partners, TVC News.
Hello folks, I greet you. Welcome to another date on Citizen Jones Today. What we do is simple. We interrogate issues that get thrown up and more so at us, just so you know. Today, Lagos State government slams Shylock landlords, vows action on unjust rent hikes. In a harsh economic climate like ours, it becomes irrational and aberrant to hike rents, which makes life and living very unbearable for the residents. The Lagos State government has strongly criticized landlords and property owners who are exploiting residents by imposing unjustifiable increases in house rent. The authorities have therefore pledged to take action aimed at protecting tenants from these exploitative practices. This was disclosed by the Special Advisor Housing to the Lagos State Real Estate Regulatory Authority, Bakare. According to her, the government would no longer fold its arms and watch its residents being exploited by Shylock landlords and agents. In addition, Lagos State tenancy law, according to her, was currently under review. Question: will the government walk its talk? The coming days will tell. I have a discussant here who
is... We have situations in some places where you take up an accommodation and you are forced to pay 2 years rent. Then even the commission
2 years against the law, against the tenancy law.
Yes, against the tenancy law. Before the law came into existence, that was the practice. Whether some people still practice that within themselves, are unknown to the law or behind the law, is still permissible so long as they are in agreement. But if the law catches up with them, they are in violation of the law. But be that as it may, the greatest threat to that livability of citizens is the common accommodation. You can imagine a situation today whereby almost all of us, a lot of us, including yours sincerely,
on impulse.
Immediately I get into the car, I strap. Meanwhile, in the past, before that message came into me, I wasn't doing that.
Even though the belt was there.
The belt has always been there. So, and if you look at the level of compliance, self-compliance by Lagosians, you can imagine a situation whereby a lot of us decide we are not going to use our seatbelts. How many road safety officials are on the road? How many people can they arrest? But knowing fully well that it is for our own safety. You make the enforcement of the law easy for the enforcers. Because when the enforcers situations, another area, because if the state government is looking into this, there is need for us to have a stakeholders engagement.
Involving
landlords, tenants, CDAs,
agents.
Bakare Barakat is the special advisor. They set up a real estate agency, agency that would, because a lot of persons are falling to the hands of scammers. Somebody will put up an accommodation. Case ended at Manti when the young man was his first. The young man just he had that nasty experience. Until tomorrow, the young man has not forgiven me, even though he knew I did it with good intention.
Yeah.
And I was never.
Does he understand the dynamic?
He understands the dynamic, but the pain.
Okay, he
went through. It was about so because that Lagos State government has used that in a way to, to correct that lacuna through the estate agency that they set up. But even as at that, there are so many Shylock estate agents that are not registered that are still practicing that business.
And unscrupulous landlords by the same time.
Yes, unscrupulous landlords by the same time. It is also important for us, for governments, to look at what is the carrot they want to throw. Man is hell-bent on doing things that will go contrary to the laws of the land.
Yeah.
Don't be surprised that if somebody is coming to take up his accommodation, they can even go as far as making you to swear to an oath that you will not disclose. So it's a situation that is very dicey for everybody. If we want to put everybody on the same page, government needs to have a round table so that we as citizens, some of us as tenants, can give our practical experience. For example, we are aware that there's a law that will, that will hold him accountable.
Yeah.
He can look for other means to create other fees.
Let me quickly ask here.
Yeah.
Your rent has been hiked.
Yeah.
Should you pay what you paid on entering the apartment?
If your rent has been hiked. No, the tenancy of the rent you paid when you came in newly must expire before you pay the new rent.
So the landlord has increased the rent.
Yes.
And when you were about moving into the apartment as a new tenant,
yes,
you were made to pay some fees.
Yes, you were made to pay.
Should you pay the fees when the rent is hiked, even though you are not a new tenant?
No, you won't pay. You won't pay the fees again. It's only meant in view of the crisis that had been generated within the building industry, within the accommodation, the housing sector, came up with that law to mitigate. But a lot of cynics also will tell you, is it the government that borrowed me money to build my house? How can they fix my rent for me? But if the government has come up with this idea, yes, it's a laudable one because it will act as a check.
Yeah, but
on Shylock.
A counter argument is you chase away prospective.
Yes, that is where the persuasion comes in. I know of some persons or of some landlords where in my community that if you are coming into their premises, they will tell you, can you imagine? How do you?
And you are asked to pay 200,000 naira legal fees
again,
which goes to the
agent. The agent. So you see, this is what we are talking about, because ordinarily under the law, that type of increment is not permissible.
It is not.
But because of the fact that if the landlord has increased, or some landlords are even clever, they will hand over the issue of rents to the agents, so that the agent will face the trouble. And we should also not forget that a lot of the challenges tenants face is as a result of the past, misdeeds by some tenants. Some landlords ordinarily on their own are more accommodating.
Yeah.
As a new tenant, you are paying a lot of fees. Agency, commission, damages, electricity, you can't name it. So this landlords, for example, I know of a friend of mine. Within the last 4 years, he has been domiciled in about three accommodations. When he's in one, immediately he has paid everything. By year 2, they'll tell him this house has been sold. You have to leave. When he leaves there, he moves to the next one. he pays another round of fees and, you know, what have you. At the end of another year. So, I think part of the engagements for this law should be that if a tenant moves into your accommodation, or your income has not increased,
But even if your income increases, it
should even be commensurate to the economic reality.
Yeah.
How do you rationalize 700,000 to 2 million?
How do you rationalize it?
You cannot explain it.
Plus 200,000 so-called legal fees.
Agency fees again. So the law by the Lagos State government is a good one. But in putting in place that law, we need a robust engagement so that people can, the drafters of the bill will now look at some of the, you know, observations that will be gotten from people's feedback.
The government is saying what?
But Citizen Jones, if you think you are exploited and your payments, we need a pursuit because
which involves the tenant,
the landlord, the agents, the CDAs.
Okay.
Because if we embark on a persuasive engagement involving communities, we can be having regular engagements.
Everybody will be on the same page.
Let us all be on the same page. So that don't see the tenant as the tenant. See the tenant as your son, as your brother, as your sister. So that we'll have
partner in progress.
Yes, we'll have a healthy relationship.
Yeah.
Because if we put in place a law, then we have worsened, we have done more damage. Because any law that will not cement the relationship, that will not add value to them, that we all will be on the same page and we reduce the acrimony that will arise from landlord-tenant
Nelson, but know that, or remember that Lagos is having the mega city dream.
Yes, and the beauty of it for Lagos is that we are grateful that we have a government in power today in Lagos that is looking at upping the ante with regards to infrastructure. For example, the Red Rail Line. Because of this issue of landlord tenancy, the hike, the Shylockness of landlords.
Okay.
A lot of people working in Lagos, and the federal government Lagos to Ibadan train
by the rules and behave like tenants and residents. I'm out of here. Thank you. Bye-bye now.
On behalf of Prince Bisi Olatilo, the esteemed Olatilo family, and the entire Biscon Communications team, we extend our deepest and most profound gratitude to everyone who made the celebration of 50 years of broadcasting excellence and 25 years of the Bisi Olatilo show an unforgettable success. Tuesday, May 13th, 2025 will forever be etched in our collective memory. The historic Shell Hall of the Muson Center, Lagos, came alive as royalty, statesmen, captains of industry, media legends, and cherished friends gathered in honor for 5 remarkable decades. We are especially honored to acknowledge the warm congratulations and recognition from His Excellency, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, who in a heartfelt message rejoiced with Prince Bisi Olatilo on his 50th anniversary in broadcasting. The 25th and lauded Prince Olatilo's trailblazing influence across broadcasting, print, advertising, public relations, and strategic communications, describing him as a man who has always placed the unity and progress of the nation first. President Tinubu further commended Prince Olatilo's fluency in Hausa, Yoruba, and Igbo, and recognitions, including the Nigerian Media Merit Award, are a testament to a life of hard work, national service, and purpose-driven storytelling. He concluded with prayers for long life, good health, and greater wisdom for continued service to Nigeria and humanity. We are deeply humbled by his presidential honor. To every royal father, distinguished guests, public servant, media veteran, industry leader, and dear well-wisher who joined us to mark this golden milestone, thank you. Your presence brought elegance, depth, and dignity to the occasion. To those who journeyed from far and near, who sent goodwill messages, offered prayers, supported in countless ways, and stood by us in spirit, your love and kindness made the celebration truly complete. To our steadfast supporters and the ever-loyal BOS audience who have stood by us over the years, this moment belongs to you as well. And to our team and everyone who worked behind the scenes to make the event extraordinary, you are the silent pillars of this great achievement. Thank you for being part of a celebration that honored not just a man, but a mission. One grounded in integrity, driven by purpose, and defined by impact. A movement that continues to uplift, inform, and inspire across generations. May God bless you richly. The journey continues, and the story of excellence lives on. TaraVest 2025 is here. On behalf of His Excellency Dr. Agbukefas, the Executive Governor of Taraba State, you're warmly invited to First 2025 in Jalingo, the beautiful capital of Taraba State. With the theme, Unlocking Taraba's Investment Potentials, Advancing Agriculture, Energy, Mining and Industrialization AEMI for Sustainable Growth and Development. This landmark summit will spotlight Taraba's vast potential and chart a clear path to economic transformation. TaraVest 2025 will bring together high-level national and international stakeholders from across the productive and service sectors, showcasing Taraba as Nigeria's new frontier for investment and innovation. From agriculture to power and renewable energy, from ICT and tourism to infrastructure, leather and tannery, solid minerals, banking, construction, communication, and the digital economy. This summit is a platform for real opportunities, lasting partnerships, and actionable results. Expect engaging discussions, insightful panels, and bold investment commitments that will shape the future of Taraba State. Join us at the Taraba State Banquet Hall, T.Y. Danjuma House, Jalingo, as we open the doors to sustainable growth, shared prosperity, and global collaboration. For more information or inquiries, please contact Ambassador Mfawa Abam on 0815 151 5888 or email mfam +234 803 924 1624 or email talk2ulem@gmail.com. TaraVest 2025, where vision meets action and opportunity meets investment. Don't miss it.
The 4th Annual Choir Festival of Ashiwaju of Remo Christians is here, and you are cordially invited. The theme for the 2025 edition is With the Voice of Singing. The Choir Festival will feature the winner of the 2024 edition, Emerald Choir, the host choir, Tabernacle Choir, 8 other competing choirs, and 20 observing choirs. Special appearance by King Sunny and Star Prize 5 million naira. Second prize 3 million naira. Is 25 million naira, and other consolation prizes for winners in other categories. Date Sunday 6th July 2025. Time 11 a.m. prompt. Venue Abraham Tabernacle, Oba Henry Wale Road, GRA, Shagam, Ogun State. Chief host is Excellency the Senator Otumba Binga Daniel, CON, the Ashiwaju of Remo Christians. The Choir Festival, improving the art of singing in our churches. Media partners TVC News, Channels TV, Arise TV, BOS Communications, and others.
this is a very special occasion. Sarki of Kano, Sarkin Kano, Alhaji Aminu Adobaro, CFR, ya bar Kano don ya zo ta yi murna kan wannan rabin yake na wurin. Mu da ka addu'a muke, sannan ka da zuwa Allah Ubangiji kare ka. Amin. Allah jamar zamaninka. Amin. Mu da dole kullum addu'a muke. Sannan da zuwa sa. Thank you very much, sir. When I turned 70 2 years ago, that I'm a true son of Kano, and that this is your own event. By God's grace, you came, you were the royal father of the day. And the speech you made up till tomorrow is still buzzing.
So there is need for us to come and celebrate with you. Like I keep saying, you are so many things in one. To me, to our forefathers, and even to the generation that follows. I happen to be
okay.
And some years back, I've been following BC and his show. And I've always been his admirer.
Thank you, sir.
And to the extent that now I become close to him, because I'm talking of when I was even a student.
Okay, sir.
And now that I'm here, I need to give that little history that I've always been part of this show.
Okay, sir.
And Alhamdulillah, I'm now here as a participant.
Thank you very much, sir.
I must confess, the show has touched a lot of lives.
Thank you, sir.
Has expresses a lot of things to the unity, especially in Nigeria. It is a program that unites us. Tell what you have been doing is something that will remain diamond in the annals of Nigeria as a nation. And that's why I'm here, and I'll continue to be by your side in whatever you do, and be rest assured myself and Kano inside at any point in time when you need us.
Wow. I don't know what to say now. God, I think this is just my season, because the day of that event, I got home, I was thanking God for the event and all that. Then I tuned the TV. It was President Bola Tinubu saluting me, presidential congratulations for 50 years in broadcasting and 25 years of the BC Olatile show, which started, by the way, during his own term as governor. That's how God helped me to become a multilingual person, and it's helped me so much. But I must thank God for Kano. So what I want to ask, sir,